Hello, Marvelle. How are you?
How you doing, Van? Good to see you again.
I'm doing really well. I really appreciate you spending some time with me. I just wanted to reach out to you and say, everything good in your life? How's it going?
Everything is good. Everything is good. Everything is much better, a little bit more smoother now. So I'm glad you're there. I'm glad you're asking about that. Appreciate it.
Great, great. So I just want to thank you for taking the time to speak with me and talk about your experiences with my involvement with your renovation. So I just wanted to begin by, before we actually talk about that, I wanted to ask you to tell me something about this property that you had gone and purchased. Can you sort of give me sort of the lay of the land, what you're looking for?
Well, pretty much not a place to live in per se yet, at least just a place to develop some type of passive income and rent out the upper and the lower floors prospectively, both of them probably have a family in the basement and a family upstairs, but with all of that comes passive income. So that's what we were looking to do with this property. So pretty much getting it done. Absolutely.
Beautiful. And I love the fact that a lot of people don't think about or consider that is that um, renovating that basement and being able to rent it out legally, of course. And we had to go through some legal hurdles about that, getting the proper permits, but getting
Absolutely.
that done is actually tremendous because you've got not one, but two sources of income coming in. So in the event somebody moves out, you still have that other source of income coming in. So that's great.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
can you tell me what the condition of property is that people are watching this video? What is it that needed to be done in that house of yours?
Well, quite a bit. The kitchens needed to be redone. The bathrooms also needed to be redone. The basement as well, of course, where the other family is gonna, potentially stay there for a while, needed to be redone. So quite a bit of work in a nutshell. But I would just say that the kitchen and the basement and the bathrooms for sure definitely needed some work.
Yeah, and I remember like the whole basement needed to be. We had to put it all up and then add a bathroom over there, and then
Yeah,
also I think the floors. You went with hardwood floors in most of the area
yeah,
of the house over there, so that had to be refinished,
absolutely.
and then
Yeah,
carpeting and stuff like that.
well,
Um,
that's perfect.
So as you know, there are a lot of people that are new to real estate investing, and they get to a fork in the road where they got to make a decision. So you bought the property, so you had to make a decision. Either you go the route of hiring a general contractor who is
Yeah,
going to look after the whole renovation. They hire out all the trades, electrician, a plumber. They manage it, and obviously you got to pay a lot of money to those folks to be able to handle that. And then
yeah,
the next option is to plan and manage your own renovation, where you hire out your own trades and like the electrician, a plumber, and a painter, and
right,
you manage it. So
right.
we all know that hiring a general contractor costs a lot of money. So
A lot.
so the question I have for you is, and I think a lot of people would have, is what made you decide to plan and manage the renovation yourself?
Well, for one, it's cheaper, and then two, I think the price was about 130 to $150,000 in terms of what we were looking at with the general contractor, right? So, and then just going off of that alone, you hear a lot of these bad stories and these horror stories with general contractors as well, and just to go a different route, I think it just gave us a little bit more comfortability, and it was cheaper, and you know, uh, I pretty much think that was it in terms of why we wanted to go about it that route, and especially too when you do that as well. When you're ready to, I want to say, just go into different avenues of like, as you continue your portfolio and diversify your portfolio, you become more familiar. Uh, not just using a general contractor, you become more familiar in terms of getting it done and knowing the ins and outs and kind of getting your hands dirty, uh, in a different way, I would say.
Like you nailed it. You nailed it. I by doing your like planning and managing your own renovation, not actually physically doing the work, you
Right.
get so much experience in the property and understanding what walls are all about and
Yeah.
floors and the work that's involved. So that puts you in a much better position for your next property. I'm sure that you're going to have a number of other properties you're going to buy during the
Yeah.
course of you're a young guy, so you're going to buy a bunch more. you're
Right.
gonna you're gonna be able to walk in any property and be able to assess it yourself and say, yeah, this is a good deal, not a good deal based on the amount of work you can do. So
Absolutely.
it's a great, that's a great point. So that was a lot of money, 130, 150,000. I wasn't aware of that, like that much money that these
Right.
contractors that quoted you. So
Right.
um, what did ultimately, if you don't mind me asking, ultimately, what did this pan out to be? How much did you end up paying for this renovation with the whole kit and caboodle?
Right. Well, we saved a lot, thanks to you. We saved a lot thanks to you. Probably, I want to say about maybe $90,000.
Wow, that's a huge savings,
Probably,
Marvelle.
probably about $1,000. Huge savings. Huge savings.
And,
Absolutely.
and how long did I think it took? The renovation took about what, 5 months, 4 or 5 months, right? Somewhere in there.
Around there, around 4 to 5 months, give or take. Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah,
So can you
absolutely.
sort of can you give me a brief description of the work that was done? So in the house, so the basement, I remember where was done, like
Mhm,
finished.
mhm.
What else was done in the house? Everything, like all the bathrooms, kitchens, all that stuff.
Everything, bathrooms, kitchens, everything, you name it. And like you said, the basement was pretty much done, but like everything, the bathrooms and the kitchens, really a lot of work with that. Just the detail and everything for sure, because you just want to be a meticulous of how you want things done, especially if you're gonna have, if you're gonna diversify your portfolio, you want things done right, for
Right.
whoever's gonna be there. So yeah, no, pretty much everything. It was just a lot of detail and what we needed to get done, and we got it done. Lots of detail, you
Wow.
know. Yeah.
Okay, so can you sort of explain to me or to people who might be watching this video, like the actual renovation process that I kind of
Yeah.
shepherd you through, please? Because a lot of
Yeah.
people, there are a lot of people. There's a lot of information out there and a lot of misinformation out there online and through videos. You watch
Yeah.
these TV shows where you buy a house and 30 minutes later the house is renovated, and people
Yeah.
making all this kind of money and that kind of stuff. And the reality is it's not as simple as that. So can
It's
you
not.
sort of shepherd me? Can you, I mean, not shepherd me, can you tell me like what it is that I kind of guided you through the process? Can you sort of give people who might be watching this video an idea of what I put you through?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's a process. It's like you said, it's not that simple and to the point as some may think. So it's a process, and without you, uh, helping us do this, and it probably been a lot more difficult. But it's a process. But first, I think we established pretty much the goal of the renovation and like what we wanted, and what we wanted out of this whole thing, and that's just huge. I think at every step that we went through, if we didn't and we missed a part in this, I think it would have affected it in some way negatively. But we established, the goal, and what we wanted to do with this renovation. And, if I'm going to be living there, if I'm not going to be living there, am I renting it out? Just different details of like how I wanted things done within the house. So we established that goal for sure, which is huge. Um, it made us more comfortable with everybody being on the same page, and it just made everybody the comfortability of that, so that was the pretty much the very first step. And then we created like a needs, and I remember we created like a needs and want list of like what we needed done. So everybody like wants to do certain things to your house or whatnot, but like the what we actually need to do or fix a leak or do that, those are needs. Wants would probably be like a carpet or something like that, or you know uh so just different needs and wants in terms of what we needed to tackle first, because we could get to that other stuff later. So that was also huge. So after we did that, I'm pretty sure we established a budget of how much these things are going to cost, right? So after you get your needs and your wants, and
Mhm.
we get to go, the budget of how are we going to get this thing done in terms of the capital. So I think those three steps were huge. And then I know once we established that budget, we just created this scope of work in terms of you know what we're going to need, like with this budget that we have now, the scope of work in terms of like what we're going to need and how we're going to get this thing done with the budget that we've established. So I think all of those steps were huge, because we could just dive into it uh pretty much like a free for all, and it becomes messy. Different people expect different things when things aren't really ironed out, on both
Mhm.
sides. So I think we did a good job basically setting the parameters of all of that stuff for sure. I mean, it was a game plan, and it's about executing the game plan once it's there. So pretty much the game plan and following through with it in a nutshell. If you want to go into those points in terms of how we did it, but pretty much a game plan and nailing it. And
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah,
So
it was a pleasure working with you
it was.
and getting it all done. So a lot of people, again, people are watching this. So can you sort of be frank and honest? And because I like it feeds my ego. Like, what is it? How was the interaction between me and you in the whole process? Like, I remember a couple of times you put me on the Zoom meeting, phone call, FaceTime, mumbo jumbo, and there
Yeah.
were some issues that you had with the house that you wanted me to look into, and I remember that interaction. But overall, like, how was the experience that you had with me in the process?
The experience was, amazing. It was A1, and it made me and my partner very comfortable, and you being so accessible and understanding. I don't mean to toot your horn too much, but you did a great job in terms of you know uh being that vessel and being understanding and being and working with us and actually seeing our vision in terms of what we wanted, because that was a huge ordeal working with somebody who it might be a little too much pull. But I think when we met you and tried to figure out the game plan of what you've just been completely honest, and uh you've been completely honest in this process, and with your honesty, just the comfortability that we've gained with you, with that, I would say, channel this thing the right way. And, uh, I personally would recommend, anybody working with you in the future, because, just the comfortability and the honesty, and you being there for the right reasons, not just all about the capital and the money, it worked out best for everybody. So, I mean, for us, I mean, we appreciate you so much.
Really, I appreciate that. So last question I have, and I ask everybody that I've spoken to this, and I think you already sort of touched on and answered it earlier, but I'll ask you again. Do you
Right.
feel that you are in a position now, because of this first renovation and our interaction together?
Yeah.
Do you feel like that you can make your your second or third or fifth purchase of a rental or a property and be able to handle your own renovation without me? Would you be able to do that?
I'll still give you a call, but absolutely.
Good.
I think absolutely. I think you put us in a situation to where we've become more knowledgeable in a, in a good period of time. So still give you a call for some advice if you want to pick up. But no, absolutely.
That's what I will always pick up, and I appreciate the fact that
Yeah.
you're able to you overcame the fear and are able to move on and create that real estate portfolio that's going to provide you that financial freedom over a period
Right.
of time. So,
Absolutely.
hey, Marvelle, I appreciate the amount of time that you share with me and the information, and it was all great stuff. I look forward to hearing some more successes that along the way, and I'm always there for you if you need a helping hand. But I really appreciate you spending the time with me and recording this.
No worries. That's the least I could do. So I appreciate it. That's the very least I could do. And anytime I'll pick up.
They're very good. Okay, take care of yourself.
Take care, man.